Hi again, everyone. This is Dr. Rob Robinson, and this is our vlog series from the desk of Dr. Rob Robinson, a series of self-help vlogs that hopefully you'll find interesting and helpful. And this is vlog number 11. And in this vlog, we're going to be talking about the impact of stress in our lives. And what's surprising, I think, is that the Center for Disease Control actually indicated recently that 90% of medical office visits in the United States are for stress-related illness, which is a very informative statistic in that I think it points to just how stressful the world around us can be if we're not alert to the impact that that may be having on our lives. So I think the first thing I think we need to use from that statistic from the Center of Disease Control about how frequent medical office visits in this country are for stress-related illness is to be able to wake up actually to the purpose of symptoms that we might have in our life. So the body manifests stress in the form of pain and discomfort. It's not unusual for people who are exposed to high levels of stress, for example, to suffer from hypertension, which is often a stress-related illness. It's also not unusual for people to manifest muscular and skeletal pain due to the fact that they have a great deal of tension in their life. And certainly we see stress showing up in the realm of our mental health through symptoms that are experienced as anxieties and depressions in people's lives. So I think what's important to realize is that symptoms actually serve a purpose so that the pain can alert us to the fact that we may be exposed to and dealing with a high level of stress in our life. And really the symptoms will become more intense if we don't wake up to the stress and do something about creating some boundaries to protect ourselves more from that. In other words, at some point, if we don't protect ourselves from stress and we maintain the exposure to the stress, the symptoms will intensify, and then we may have to shut it all down because of the level of pain that's been accumulated due to the exposure to stressful life events and situations. So the second thing I think that's important in managing stress and looking at stress is to take a personal inventory of the stressors in your life. And I think it's important to pay particular attention to, for example, to stress you find in relationships. You know, we've talked often on some of these vlogs about John Gottman and the research that he did in the area of relationships in our lives. And he indicated through the 40 years of research that he did that if you're in an unhealthy and conflicted relationship over a long period of time, your immune system becomes weakened and compromised. So the chances of illness showing up in response to relationship stress becomes very high. So look for the sources of stress. You know, are there any periods where we're just in quiet modes, where there's just peace? Or are we constantly exposed to the noise level, if you will, around us that actually serves as a toxin or a pollutant to our minds, where we can't find any peace and where we're manifesting the noise and the stress in the world around us. The third thing I think that's important is to try to create a plan to deal with the stressors that you identify. Make a list, you know, of this. What are my biggest stressors in my life? And then next to those stressors, try to begin, you know, formulating a plan that may help you begin to reduce stress in that area. And I think one of the things, too, that's important to look at in creating this plan is that oftentimes it's not necessarily the situation that's the culprit, but our minds and what we tell ourselves about the stressful event that actually ends up creating more stress. The next piece would be trying to work at learning how to savor things in life more. And by savoring, I mean being able to be present and enjoy whatever it is that you might be doing. You know, one of the definitions that I heard about what Zen is, and I think this is really true, is just bringing our full attention into whatever we're doing in the present moment. And that's really what savoring is about. whether you're enjoying, some type of food, or you're enjoying looking out a window on a landscape on a nice day, or you might be listening to music, or you might be doing something in the state of peace and stillness. It's learning to savor those experiences so they register more powerfully in the scope of our daily lives. So savoring is a great tool for learning to reduce stress. The other thing I think that's helpful is to kind of, I call it tapping into gaps that we can create in our day. So in the course of our daily lives, it can be really almost like a treadmill of activity that we're exposed to. And it's really helpful, if you can be mindful of this, to just create some space, if you will, some gaps where nothing is happening. It really be akin to unplugging your devices, shutting everything off, even if it's for 5 minutes. 5-minute little gap where there's just nothing but stillness and space and quiet, where that can be used to be able to tap into the quiet and stillness that exists within us as our true nature, but we often don't get a chance to see that or experience that because we're so tied into our mind-generated attachment to the life and the times around us. So tapping into some space and stillness can be very, very helpful as a stress reliever. And finally, part of the title of the book I'm writing is Lose Your Mind. Learn to practice quieting your mind. Learn to use meditation as a way to enhance stillness and peace in your body and in your mind. In fact, at drrobrobinson.com, we have a meditation script that you can use for free. That's available on the website. If you leave your email address, you can get the meditation and relaxation script, and it's a very helpful way for being able to induce some stillness and some peace in what would otherwise be considered a stressful life. But anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. This is vlog number 11 on our YouTube series from the desk of Dr. Rob Robinson. Have a great day.